And I did not actually have my microphone turned on, for fuck's sake. Well, it's a good thing I did not start to read this article then. Okay, let's do a short recap. The weather is absolutely shit here. I'm in shit mood. Well, not in shit mood because of a stress or anything like that, but in shit mood because it's shit weather. What else? Oh yeah, I've uploaded the VOD stream on Monday on the VOD's channel. I uploaded some videos to the main channel. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna cut more videos today. After I'll be done watching the Boys TV series. That should be it in a nutshell. I'm gonna cut this all of this from the VOD once I publish it, so you don't have to stare at a silent screen for a long while. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Once again, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 articles. One of them is pretty, I think it's going to be a meme article, because yeah, it's a article with mixed rating. Like no high factual company actually picked it up, and everyone that covers it is from DI, therefore my expectations are very low. Then we got 4 Twitter bizarres and 1 gaming news, which is not exactly gaming news, but a bizarre news about the guy who got arrested while he was holding a real life sword replica or something like that for carrying a 6-inch master sword in public. 6-inch? I mean, that's not that big. How much is 6-inch? Like 14 centimeters? Like, that's not that big. I mean, that's very small actually. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Apple poised to get OpenAI board observer role as a part of AI-packed Bloomberg News reports. Yes, AI made a partnership with AI company, probably OpenAI. I forgot. I actually read about it, but I forgot about it because I don't really care about Apple much. The Apple seems to be really investing now in the AI hype as well. So we'll see how that turns out for them. Apple will get an observer on OpenAI board as part of a landmark AI agreement announced last month, Bloomberg News reported on Tuesday. Phil Schiller, the head of Apple's App Store and its former marketing chief, was chosen for the position, the report said. An observer can attend board meetings without being able to vote or exercise other powers that directors usually have, according to the report. Observers, however, do gain insights into how decisions are made at the company. Apple and OpenAI declined to comment when contacted by Reuters. The move comes on the heels of Apple's announcement in June, bringing OpenAI's chatbot ChatGPT to its devices and integrating its new Apple Intelligence technology across its suite of apps, including virtual assistant Siri. OpenAI said in March that it was appointing new directors to the board, including company CEO Sam Altman, Sue Desmond-Hellmann, a former CEO of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Nicholas Seligman, a former president of Sony Entertainment, and Fidji Simo, CEO of Instacart. You might be wondering what business do these people have in Apple's board of directors? I have no idea. Privilege, I guess. Privilege, rich guys. That's everything I can tell you. They have a lot of money, so they are appointed there. They are some of them are related to powerful people or rich people. Sam Altman, again, pretty powerful human now with its ChatGPT. CEO of a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah, you probably heard about that. I remember some people were complaining that they sponsored one or more kurz gesagt videos. Don't know much about that anymore. I watched a video about it. Was an interesting one. I don't remember much of it now. But in short, they paid money for them to, promote some team or make a video on some team they wanted to make. A former president of Sony Entertainment, once again, CEO of Instacart. Yeah, all these people have no business to be on Apple board of directors. Oh no, that's OpenAI board of directors, sorry. Still, like, these people have, well, excluding of this guy, maybe he doesn't know shit too, you never know. But she knows absolutely jack shit about AI. This guy as well, or this woman, and this guy as well. None of them know jack shit about AI. They are there because they are fucking rich and powerful. Yeah. And this is actually the entire article, very short. So yeah, I mean, if I'm not sure if board of directors are Google, you can Google the board of directors at various companies. I would definitely give it, if I were you, I would definitely give them a check if maybe you're gonna find there some interesting people, some people you'd really not expect to find at such companies. People who have zero knowledge about the companies they are in board of directors, but they do make decisions about your products you use, even though they are completely uninformed and their opinion is made up of some expert's opinion. So yeah, rich people being rich. Moving on. We got a CNN article. Some antidepressants contribute to weight gain more than others, study finds. Mental health treated same as physical health. I'm not quite sure what this means. Like it's treated worse. So I'm not sure. Like, is it? I'm gonna play the video and we're gonna see if we actually can get a answer. I'm gonna pause the music because I want to know if by treated same or worse or better, do they mean it by people around you or by the medical experts?
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, yet many Americans feel they're not getting the help they need. A new West Health Gallup survey finds that 3 out of 4 people believe their mental health issues are not identified and treated the same way as physical symptoms. It also shows that 51% of Americans say they experienced depression, anxiety, or other mental health-related issues in the past year. The U.S. Census Bureau and healthcare experts found a severe shortage of child psychiatrists in the nation's 25 largest cities. For example, in Indianapolis, there are more than 100,000 at-risk children with only one mental health professional per 2,857. In Houston, which has 130,000 at-risk children, there are only one psychiatrist for every 2,000 kids. Joining me now is Dr. Tammy Benton, psychiatrist-in-chief at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and president of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. Dr. Benton, thank you for being here. Why are there so few providers per patient?
Okay, so they mean it this way, that by the access to the psychiatrists. Yes, even here in my own country, there's not many of these psychiatrists to help young people and that. Personally, if you have a problem with mental issues, I would recommend you to just turn off and get the hell out of society. Unfortunately, this is something that many of you cannot simply do. Not because you don't want to, but simply because you can't afford it, or your area is not safe, so you cannot just simply walk out of door and go for a run, or to go to nature or park, because you simply, it's a security risk for your own health. Ouch. I cracked my bone. I actually wonder how much does psychiatrist cost? I actually am gonna Google it for you. Give me a moment. New York, for example. Not really so. I did not do it, so there you go. Mental health, that's not what we treat. Patients, insurance is specialty. Oh. Okay, and no, actually. Oh, here we go. How much does a psychiatrist cost without insurance? According to the electronic health reporter, the average cost of psychiatrist visit without insurance generally runs between $100 or $200 per session, but initial appointments are often more. Also keep in mind that any additional mental health service can increase the cost of your care and therapy session, I say. So it is not exactly the cheapest. Yeah. So this can be a 1,000+ investment. At that point, I would just simply recommend you to just try to get away and have a peace with yourself. Just relax somewhere out there. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, it's simply, I don't know how much it costs, you know, a hotel room and etc. and the travel expenses. However, if you could go out and genuinely be alone with yourself, it will probably help you as long as you are determined and if you're actually willing to think about what's troubling you. And if your brain is demented and or maybe you are and stupid with a snowflake who simply refuses to actually think about what's bothering you, then yeah, I mean, obviously therapy. Yeah, this is therapy is very favorite among white people. Generally, maybe because they have money for it. But I mean, I would not go for a therapy never. I would rather figure out my own problems on my own than go for a therapy. But I know I can figure them out. If you do not have that capacity, then yes, seek out professional help. Don't judge yourself based on others. Judge yourself based on your situation. Don't try to overcome something when you know you don't have a mental physique to actually overcome it. Let's continue listening to the video.
Yeah, that's a challenge that we've struggled with for many years. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that the rates of mental illnesses among children and other emotional challenges are increasing at a fairly rapid rate. And it definitely outpaces the rate at which we can train more child and adolescent psychiatrists. In addition to that, there are several issues related to the length of training, so that the average length of training is medical school, residency for 3 years, and 2 years of fellowship. And then most young people coming out of medical school nowadays have about $300,000 in debt. And so it's really challenging for a multitude of reasons.
You say that that there's an increase, an uptick in the number of cases.
Also, most of people don't really like to get into the mental health sphere because simply not many people actually want to help. Not because they are evil or like that. However, they know it is very stressful even for the psychiatrists. It is very stressful even for the doctors who are helping you, and they understand they will have to deal with people who may be a bit more explosive about their problems, that they will not simply just sit down and talk to you calmly. No, they will talk to you calmly like Dumbledore talks to calmly to Harry in the what was that? Goblet of Fire? Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be very vocal and it will not be pleasant for you. Therefore, that's also one of the reasons why not many actual Americans try to become a psychiatrists. And the depth, of course. However, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you also have to get some sort of certificate before you can actually start to be a psychiatrist on your own. You have to have a certificate first for actually for doing your job, right? You cannot simply just get a degree and start working. No, at least in EU you have to get also a certificate that's that confirms that you are capable of doing any task that you will be doing. Like people in dental hygiene, also they make certificates. I'm not sure if it's required. However, my dental hygienist has a certificate. And also, if I sometimes go to the hair salons, I see also certificates on the walls. If it's like privately owned, if it's like owned by company, then obviously no. Then you have some random teenagers or adults working there as a side hustle.
That require treatment. You've had a 3-decade distinguished career. What has changed in the population during the last 3 decades?
I think the environment has changed considerably. And what we're starting to, well, I think there's a couple of issues. One is that I think that these problems have been around for a while, and many times they were undetected. With increased awareness and our ability to identify these issues, we've actually uncovered things that young people have been struggling with for a while. So we probably all remember the youngster that seemed to be annoying everybody in class. We didn't realize that a lot of times those youngsters were struggling with ADHD or anxiety and other things. So I think there's increased awareness, but there's also increased social and environmental stressors that contribute to what we're seeing today.
Okay, so what do we need? Where do we go to find the, I like to use the word mingling, that is lacking? I know you favor the
Social stresses and anxiety was here before. However, people simply did not talk about it. They just let it rest in themselves until they broke and did something they did regret afterwards. Like people from certain sides are going to tell you that this was very good, just it was to make, those nerds into real males and all that sort of bullshit, but no. Simple, there's more of this. There are simple. We know more about the mental issues because those young people are not afraid of speaking out anymore. They were very afraid to speak out before because they know they would probably get harassed by their parents most of the time, or in good majority of the time they were afraid. Because, I mean, if you saw some American movies, then you probably saw some of the stereotypical American dad and stuff like that, that he was very harsh on his children. Like, if you would tell him, like, and kids, if they probably thought that, like, if they would tell their dads or mothers about their issues, then they would probably get beaten down, beaten up with them violently. So yeah, that's also a reason why we are seeing more of these depressions and anxieties popping out lately. It's simply because people are no longer afraid of speaking out about their issues, and it's a good thing. Because when you talk about your problems, there's an opportunity for solution. If you keep it in yourself, like you have no idea what you will do in years afterwards, in years of piling this stress, this depression, in yourself. Like you might do something you will regret for the rest of your life.
belonging that seems to be absent in so many lives.
So I think there are many opportunities for us. And I think the pandemic, though it brought many challenges and problems that we're facing today, there were also opportunities. So a few of the things that happened during the pandemic is families were together, and there were more opportunities for families to spend time together. The other issues that are plaguing us really have to do with creating a sense of community in places where young people are. Schools, their communities, recreational activities, all of those things, families spending time together in the outdoor environment, all of those things are really important to supporting mental health and preventing emotional challenges. Some of the things that are happening, though, as we understand, there are lots of things happening in the world that young people are exposed to through media, through social media. There's a lot of stressors in school environments with many kids being bullied and marginalized and not necessarily being able to find those communities. But those are the things that maintain and support mental health. And the goal would be, how do we create an environment for young people to thrive and for resilient families to be okay? And there are many approaches we're taking to doing that. Some of them is better education about mental health, better education for providers and for communities. And so we're looking for ways to integrate mental health into settings where children and families are every day. For example, schools. It's an excellent opportunity to reach more kids in an environment that's not stigmatizing. We're also starting to integrate more behavioral health providers in primary care practices. So when families go to receive their medical services, they're able to receive their mental health services as well. And we're looking at other community partnerships. We're partnering with churches, recreational centers, athletic programs. But the challenge is the one you identified at the very beginning. There just are not enough clinicians to care for all the young people in need.
I'm so glad that you're here as the month kicks off. I heard you use the word stigma. Job one is to get beyond the stigma and have this kind of dialogue.
The problem about school is there'll be a lot of kids with different parents, and there are also parents like this that they belittle these problems and they call them weak, and they also raise their children to be more on a bullying side of against those children who actually express their anxiety. So I mean, in school it varies. It's not that safe. It's not that good of an idea to actually have kids, talk with each other about it. Sure, in instances works. In other instances, it can cause more harm than benefit. Which ultimately that then comes to the parents, and parents in 21st century are another shit. Most, and by other shit I mean they just simply do not pay that much attention to their children when they reach a certain age. They stop raising them. I'm personally not a fan of last century or any other century type of parenthood. However, parents back in the day were probably paying a little bit more attention to their children than they are now. It's probably also mostly because of work and careers. Basically, the parents also are trying to make something for themselves to retire, happily ever after and all that beautiful stuff. However, it leaves children without someone they can kind of look up to, and mostly to gain a default sets of values from. And when you do not give children when you do not insert your values into children, then they will get those values from other sources, and sometimes those sources might not be what you would envision for your children. And it could be something heinous, villainous. So yeah. We're gonna now read the article. I'm not quite sure how long it is, but I'm also gonna restart the music, and I'm gonna take a sip of water, so give me a moment. Alright, we can continue. Antidepressants can be lifesavers for many struggling with so many mental health diagnoses: anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, social phobias, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Yet taking these mood-altering substances can lead to an unpleasant side effect for some: weight gain. While many people never add extra weight, doctors say concerns over additional pounds are a key reason people may be hesitant to start taking antidepressants for their mental health. Weight gain is also a reason why some stop their medications despite feeling less depressed or anxious while using them. I never knew about such side effect simply because I never took any antidepressants, therefore I did not have any need to research this. But one would think the scientists or whoever makes these pills would solve this issue. Weight gain, I would probably anticipate they use some sort of fat or sugar in there, something very concentrated. Because I mean, when you eat sugar, then when you eat sugar like candy and stuff, you generally feel a little bit more relaxed. You can probably notice that you feel a little bit more happier. Maybe not richer happy, but you just feel something smiling in you. So I would anticipate they are using some sort of very highly concentrated sugar to even much higher prepare with these emotions in you. While many people never add extra weight, doctors say concerns. Oh yes, we already read that. Now, a new study sheds light on just how much weight gain might occur on average while taking 8 of the most commonly prescribed antidepressants. One of the most widely prescribed antidepressants, sertraline, also known by brand names Zoloft and Lustral, was associated with average weight gain near 0.5 pounds, 0.2 kilograms at 6 months. That's not that much. That's not that much at all. That rose to 3.2 pounds, 1.46 pounds at 24 months. Okay, that's definitely interesting. According to this study, I'm not quite sure. I mean, how did that study go? Like, I would love to see the paper on the study. Like, what were the people actually, eating and stuff? What sort of, physical conditions were under? What sort of workout routines they had? Because this is definitely quite surprising to read. However, we don't seem to get any data here. Using that as a comparison, researchers found people taking escitalopram, known by the brand names Lexapro and Cipralex, had an average 15% increased risk over sertraline of gaining at least 5% of their baseline weight at 6 months. The risk was 14% for paroxetine, sold under the names Paxil, Arapax, Paxeva, Seroxat, Serupin, and Brisdale. The study found duloxetine, sold by the brand names Cymbalta, Roxentia, and Xantere, was associated with a 10% increased risk of a patient gaining at least 5% of their baseline weight compared to the sertraline, the study said. A weight gain of 5% or more over baseline is considered clinically significant for health, said lead study author Joshua Pettimar, an assistant professor of population medicine at Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Institute and Harvard Medical School in Boston. I'm gonna add my 2 cents to this. 5% increase of your baseline weight in 24 months is simply not that much for you to drop. Well, depends on it. I mean, for me, like, antidepressants is something that you should be taking over a short period of time. You are in some bad mental health situation, So you take those antidepressants to, better yourself. Like those antidepressants you should be taking them to first to control your own emotions, and which is your job, or job of a psychiatrist, if you decide to go there, to solve that issue, what's causing you to be emotionally unstable or unstable. Yeah, like those pills are not there to actually solve the problem. They are there to just to stalemate the problem, and it is up to you to actually solve that issue that's breaking your heart and your soul. The typical adult gains an average of 1 to 2 pounds per year, which over time can contribute to obesity. This weight can be driven by physical inactivity, stress, poor sleep, and poor food choices, such as eating too many ultra-processed foods as well as medications. Experts say. Weight gain by pounds. The study, published Monday in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine, used electronic health record prescriptions and body mass to compare weight gains among more than 183,000 people. Researchers looked at weight at 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months for individuals between the ages of 18 to 80 who were starting an antidepressant for the first time. When analyzing the data by pounds and kilograms of weight gain, people on escitalopram and paroxetine added an average of 1.4 pounds, 0.63 kilograms, by 6 months. By 24 months, the weight had risen by 3.6 pounds, 1.63 kilograms for escitalopram, and near 3 pounds, 1.33 kilograms for paroxetine. Duloxetine was associated with an average gain of 1.2 pounds, 0.55 kilograms at 6 months, and 1.7 pounds, 0.78 kilograms at 24 months. In our study, the average weight at baseline was 84 kilograms, or about 185 pounds, Fatima said in email. This means that in our study, a 5% increase in weight translated to, on average, to a weight gain of 4.2 kilo, or about 9 pounds. However, the study found no significant higher or lower risk for citalopram, sold as Celexa, fluoxetine, sold as Prozac, or venlafaxine, sold as Effexor, XR, Vencir, Vencarm, Venlalix, and Venlablue, when compared to sertraline. We need to remember these are average values. Many people won't gain any weight, while others could gain considerably more, said Dr. Roy Paris, Associate Chief of Psychiatric Research at Massachusetts General Hospital and Professor of Psychiatry at Harvard Medical School in Boston, who conducted a similar study in 2014. He was not involved with the new research. Still, having average values to work with and seeing that these averages line up well with prior studies and research give people a sense of what might they need, Paris said in an email. Not all patients perceive weight gain negatively, although it is more common for patients to want to avoid weight gain than to seek it when taking an antidepressant. Fatima said. For example, mirtazapine, an antidepressant that is sometimes used in treatment of eating disorders. We didn't examine mirtazapine in our study because it's not considered a common frontline medication for new users of antidepressants, he said. Weight loss occurred with one drug. One antidepressant contributed to a small amount of weight loss at 6 months, the study found. Bupropion, Wellbutrin, and Ziban on average had a 15% lower risk of gaining a clinically meaningful amount of weight compared to sertraline, Pertimar said. Our study didn't explore reasons why bupropion was associated with less weight gain than other antidepressants, but other studies have similarly concluded that it is associated with less weight gain than other common antidepressants, he added. When analyzed by pounds or kilograms lost, people who took bupropion dropped almost 1/4 of pound, 0.01 kilogram, at 6 months before gaining 1.2 pounds, 0.56 kilograms at 24 months, according to the research. Why do antidepressants contribute to weight gain? Science doesn't know yet, Paris said. I think it probably also has to do with the fact that people who are depressed, they are trying to find a way to ease the depression. In other senses, they eat more, or they eat some food they simply like, okay? So maybe they eat cake or any other sweets, and they probably eat it a little bit more than do they actually realize. Maybe the antidepressants also have an influence about it. I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about it. But hey, we might, who knows? As I said before, I never did actually use antidepressants, therefore I don't know. I don't know even what it would do to me, since I never really felt that depressed to actually get. Sorry. I never considered any of pills to. Sorry, I did not consider to get any of these, because I never really had that situation. Remarkably, we don't know the precise mechanism by which antidepressants contribute to weight changes. First, we really do not know much about who is most likely to gain or lose weight, so we can make good predictions in advance, he said. One caution, Paris said, is that some people lose weight when depressed and lose their appetite. Some of what we are seeing may be people gaining weight they lost as their depression or anxiety improves. Yes, that can also be a reason. Yeah, that's depression can have a numerous impacts on your weight. You may gain weight, or you may go to the anorexia, which is arguably more devastating for you than actual obesity. Because from obesity you can lose weight, or you can actually start working out and turn some of that fat into muscles, which will benefit you more long term. However, if you don't go into anorexia, then it will be much harder for you to gain strength or regain strength. The best way to manage side effects is to anticipate them, experts say. Patients who are concerned about weight gain should have an open and honest conversation with their clinician about their concern, Pertimar said. There are many clinical factors that determine which medication is right for a given patient, Pertimar said. These include the patient's clinical symptoms, their medical history, and any other drugs they are already taking, and possible side effects that the patient is concerned about. Clinicians have to weigh all of these factors when they decide which is the best course of treatment, he added, while the patients can strive to avoid weight gain by following healthy eating habits and exercising regularly. Yes. I think we're gonna go straight to the next article. I don't really think I need to add anything more. If you're feeling unwell mentally, then either seek up a professional help, or if you have cash, then maybe try to get out some to nature and just be there yourself and try to think of the issues that are troubling you or the emotions that are plaguing your head. I know it can be definitely very hard for people to actually come up with their problems. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance that your parents will understand it. You probably know or deduce their reaction before you actually attempted. I mean, you live with them, so you probably be able to deduce it if they are able and willing to actually have a good discussion with you, then that is good for you. Unfortunately, I think most of the children are scared that their parents will just shout at them and call them, weak or something like that. So yeah. Seek help, stay safe, and hey, don't commit something you might regret committing. Moving on. We got a Italian landowner is arrested after an Indian worker bled to death in accident with farm equipment. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Okay, we can continue. Rome AP. Italian police arrested a farm owner on Tuesday on suspicion of homicide after one of his workers, an undocumented laborer from India, bled to death when his arm was cut off by a piece of farm equipment. The landowner abandoned the bleeding worker and failed to call an ambulance, prosecutors said. How the fuck is it possible that in Europe, of all places, can someone undocumented work anywhere? Oh wait, I actually realized that near me, like some tens of kilometers away, there was a police raid. Special services like SWAT. Sorry. Sorry. So near my place there was a SWAT unit doing swatting, and some sort of illegal guy, maybe some criminal guy, or international criminal guy, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I did hear about it from one of my friends that works there. Oh yeah, this is quite funny though, well, it's tragic, okay? It's tragic yet funny that I think I'll probably keep it for now and I'll talk about it later. I hope we get to see just what kind of person that guy was. The guy that actually didn't even call the ambulance. The death of Satnam Singh has shocked Italians and sparked protests by unions and farm workers demanding better working conditions. They have called for an end to the exploitive carpalato system of using underpaid migrant workers to work in Italy's agriculture industry. Yet people work for the right wing that are promising that they will deport all of those illegal migrants. And then what do you see when you actually look at their own, palaces, their own, properties? Yeah. Hypocrites. It's only bad when it does not benefit me. Clowns. Even President Sergio Mattarella has weighed in on the case, referring to what he said was the cruel exploitation of workers like Singh and inhuman conditions in which seasonal farmhands often work in Italy. Carabinieri police in Latina, a large agricultural province south of Rome, arrested farm owner Antonella Lovato after prosecutors bumped up to the original suspected crime of manslaughter to homicide with malice afterthought. A statement from Latina prosecutors said, they did so after forensics determines that Singh died from copious blood loss. The forensics reports found he most likely would have survived if he had received prompt medical care, the prosecutor's statement says. Yes, those people in leadership in such, I don't want to say lower end jobs, however, it is what it is. In these lower end jobs, they simply do not care about you mostly. They'll tell you some basics of security, safety of work and shit like that. However, if something happened to you, then they will rather tell people to work, to keep working because profit above all. And if somebody actually dies, they'll just cover up your corpse with blanket and call for the ambulance just to take you away, whilst they'll tell their workers to keep working. But an ambulance apparently wasn't called right away after Singh's arm was wrenched off when it got stuck in a nylon wrapping machine. Italian daily Corriere della Sera quoted the arrest warrant signed by Judge Giuseppe Morfese, saying Lovato was driving the tractor that was pulling the nylon wrapping machine and then abandoned the bleeding Singh, leaving him outside his home. Ah, a coward, of course. Italian news reported have quoted witnesses saying Lovato refused entreaties by Singh's wife, who also worked at the farm, to call an ambulance, claiming he was already dead. Oh yes, let's not call ambulance because he's already dead. Just fucking shoot that motherfucker. Unironically, just shoot him dead. AIE state television interviewed a neighbor who finally called an ambulance. Singh was brought to the San Camillo hospital in Rome, where he was pronounced dead some 2 days later. 2 days later. So basically he was still alive when they took him in, alright? And if this motherfucker actually called the hospital, then the ambulance, then he would probably have survived. Because, I mean, if you have bleed loss, if you are bleeding, you need to stop it. And you need to get a medical attention as soon as possible, because every minute counts here. So, like... In this statement, Latina prosecutors said Singh's condition after the injury was so serious that it was obvious he needed prompt medical attention. Yeah. So not only he was still alive, but he was just a piece of human garbage. I mean, beyond it that used that from the everything we read up until now. At the present time, therefore, it must be held that the decision to omit the necessary care constituted to the acceptance of the risk of deleter and united the cause that directly resulted in death, this statement said. There was no immediate reply to an email seeking comment from the law offices of Stefano Perotti and Valerio Righi, identified by the RAE as Lovato's lawyers. RAE has quoted Lovato's father, Renzo, saying Singh had been warned not to get so close to the equipment. Yes, they always use this excuse. I mean, He said Singh took the warnings to writer and that his attitude will cause everyone dear. Yeah, his attitude. Definitely it won't be the attitude of that motherfucker that just left him there. Because from what the neighbor called, alright? The neighbor called the ambulance. Do you fucking understand it? The fucking neighbor. Not the guy that owns this place. Like this, there is nothing like gray. This is white on black. That guy, that owner of the farm, is a fucking psychopath, and he should get the bullet. He took it to like, Also, if that son of his, the guy who's now in the court was driving the tractor, then why the fuck did he not pay attention to his whereabouts? Like, I'm pretty sure you can turn that thing off from inside of your own tractor or whatever he was using. Like, I don't believe that with today's technology you cannot turn it off in your own inside of your, tractor, inside of your vehicle. So I mean, like, all you have to do is just pay attention to your surrounding and make sure nobody is somewhere where he shouldn't be. Like, this is basic safety of work rule. At least my safety of work rule. And obviously, if he was undocumented, which the employer did know, so like it would indicate that he's probably not the most well off. Therefore, again, people who are not properly educated, you have to pay much bigger attention when you work with them so they don't make any mistakes. That is also a basic rule. Like, if somebody is not at an educational level, you just pay a bigger attention so he doesn't actually end up in accident. So yeah, this is tragic, and hopefully his wife is going to get some sort of payment from that psychopath. Yeah, I mean, his neighbor called for the ambulance. Humans are stupid. Let's continue. Halving food waste can reduce hunger for 153 million people. I don't food waste, so you're telling it to the wrong guy, but I'm not gonna make any naughty comments, okay? Not gonna make any comments about the shape of the food. Alright, enough of adolescents. Paris. Halving food waste could cut climate warming emissions and end undernourishment for 153 million people globally, the OECD and the UN's food agency said in a joint report on Tuesday, July 2nd. Around a third of food produced for human consumption gets lost or wasted globally. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, refusing in users' emissions and less available food for those who need it. By 2033, the number of calories lost and wasted between produce leaving farms and reaching shops and households could be more than twice the number of calories currently consumed in low-income countries in a year, the report warned. Cutting into the amount of food lost and wasted along the journey from the farm to fork has the potential to reduce global agriculture greenhouse gas emission by 4% and the number of undernourishment people by 153 million by the year 2030, according to the report. Alright, but that's a problem with transportation now, isn't it? It takes time for the food to get from the farm to the shop. That simply takes time, or by time not exactly the time that it takes too long for the food to make it. However, for the food to get bought by a store, so it goes to your local Walmart for sale. Like this cannot be much implemented in the poor countries simply because it would still take a lot of time for the food to get there. Therefore, once it would get there, it would be already on the edge. So, I mean, it's an interesting idea. However, I think the solution is going to be much more complicated than it is going to be presented here. Sorry about that. This target is a highly ambitious upper bound and would require substantial changes by both consumers and producer side, they added. Agriculture, forestry, and other land use accounts for 1/5 of global human-induced greenhouse gas emissions. UN nations have committed to cutting per capita food waste by 50% by 2030 as part of Sustainable Development Goals, but there is no global target for reducing food loss along the production supply chain. Between 2021 and 2023, fruit and vegetable accounted for more than half of lost and wasted food, given their extremely perishable number and relatively short shelf time, according to the report. Cereals followed, accounting for over a quarter of lost and wasted food. The FAO estimates that approximately 600 million people will be facing hunger in 2030. Yes, sir. And yeah, people, the right wing still wants to solve this issue by deportation, yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do when they're gonna have 600 million people knocking on their doors, huh? Oh yeah, what are you gonna do then, huh? You think you're gonna give the order, huh? Yeah, thought so. Or maybe they will give the order. The only thing is that they're gonna get coup d'etat immediately by any other reasonable people. And the West will fall simply because 600 million people will destroy the West and everything the West has been, even now, even up until now. We will be so severely overpopulated, there will be so much crime, people will be fighting for food, for shelter. It is going to end up very bad for the EU and probably for the US if such motion happens in South America and Central America as well. It's already happening quite a bit, but it seems it will only get worse. Measures to reduce food loss and waste could significantly increase food intake worldwide as more food becomes available and prices fall, ensuring greater access to food for low-income populations, the report said. Halving food loss and waste by 2030 could result in increased food intake for 10% low-income countries, 6% in low-middle income nations, and 4% in upper middle ones, it added. So, as I said, the food crisis is going to get much worse. The climate destabilization is probably also going to get much worse in the upcoming years. It's going to be very, very uncertain times ahead of us. You should do your best to save money, and if things go to shit, then probably dip somewhere else. Somewhere safe, most preferably. I know that's kinda hard in today's world. There really isn't any safe place. Well, I mean, yeah, you can nitpick, however, generally there's no really safe nation anymore. Maybe besides like nations like Iceland, some micronations or very small nations. So moving on. We still have 3 more articles left. We got a economy article. US job openings rise to 8.1 million despite higher interest rates. Washington AP. US job openings rose slightly to 8.1 million in May, despite the impact of higher interest rates intended to cool the labor market. Yes, and the Federal Reserve, the Fed, Jerome Powell, is probably gonna start to lower these rates by the end of the year, probably after the vacation is over for the Wall Street. Simply because politics, the labor market is still very strong, and considering the high interest rates did not really curb stomp it too much, it's probably going to go out of control yet again, and after that we're probably gonna have a new president, and you don't know if it's going to be Trump. Then I think he's probably gonna demand him to let it loose, because hey, that would mean more new jobs, and new jobs is something he wants, which will probably also cause inflation. But hey, the inflation will come back regardless, I think. If you look at just how strong the labor market is, then I think the inflation is going to come back again, and they will simply will not know how to handle this. They will keep those interest rates really high up, which is going to screw the banks, and it is going to cause a monopoly, most likely. Those are only my thoughts, and nothing of what I say is financial advice, obviously. Vacancies rose from a revised 7.9 million in April, the first reading below 8 million since February 2021. The Labor Department reported Tuesday April openings were marked down from an original reported 8.1 million. Layoffs rose to 1.65 million in May from 1.54 million in April. The number of Americans quitting their job, a sign of confidence in their prospects, was basically unchanged. The report was another sign that the labor market is holding firm. The expansion looks solid, said Robert Frick, economist at the Navy Federal Credit Union. The US economy and job market have been remarkably resilient in the face of the Federal Reserve's campaign to raise interest rates to rein in inflation. The Fed hiked its benchmark rate 11 times in 2022 and 23, lifting it to a 23-year high. Defying expectations of recession, the US economy kept growing and employers kept hiring. But lately there have been signs that the economy is losing some steam. Job openings have come steadily down since peaking at 12.2 million in March 2022. The job market is still strong. There are 1.25 jobs for every unemployed American, but that's down from 2-to-1 ratio in January 2023. Fed policymakers welcome lower job openings, a relatively painless way to cool a hot job market and reduce pressure on companies to raise wages, which can feed inflation. From January throughout March this year, the economy grew at an annual pace of just 1.4%, slower since spring 2022. Consumer spending, which accounts for around 70% of US economic activity, expanded just 1.5% after advancing at a pace of more than 3% in each of the last 2 quarters of 2023. The Labor Department is expected to report Friday that employers added 190,000 jobs last month, down from 272,000 in May, according to a survey of forecasters by the data firm FactSet. Unemployment is forecast to stay at 4%. High interest rates have helped bring inflation down closer to Fed's target of 2% a year, from a 4-decade high of 9.1% in June 2021. Progress on containing price increases is expected to allow the central bank to start cutting rates. Wall Street investors are expecting the first rate cuts at the Fed September meeting. Speaking at conference in Portugal Tuesday, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said that progress towards low inflation appears to have resumed after stalling earlier this year, but he said the Fed needed to see more evidence before it cuts rates. Honestly, I low-key expect them to just simply not cut the rates, which is going to send a lot of people into chaos. The other side of the market that is very, very unstable right now is the crypto market. They had their big Bitcoin halving, and the Bitcoin prices have been let's just say they've been very underwhelming since the halving. They have not moved much. Bitcoin at one point went for the 74,000, but now it's around 60 to 62,000 in US dollars. That's not much, and it's been there for a while. There has been many positive news. However, it simply seems like there's no more there from the investors. And it seems like it's the peak. It will probably go higher in the autumn, in the presidential elections. However, at the moment, it's really dead. Bitcoin is dead, and the altcoins, they are very dead. Most of them are very dead, except of some meme coins like Pepe, Dogecoin. Well, Dogecoin is also dead. Mostly Pepe now. Ethereum is somewhat stable there. People are waiting for the decision from the SEC, which is you only need to know one name, that is Gary Gensler. When Mr. Gensler is speaking, nothing good ever comes from it. So yeah, he's like the Sauron or Voldemort of the United States economic security or whatever that is. Basically, he tells you what is safe to invest in and what is not. As you would expect, he is very corrupted. However, yeah, they passed the Bitcoin ETFs in January, and they also passed the Ethereum ETFs in June, mostly because of lobbying from firms like BlackRock. Those firms are massive, $10 trillion company wants an ETF on something. Gary Gensler is eventually reluctant is going to deliver. Like, nobody is going to say no to BlackRock at this point. They want to invest, they want to, let their investors invest into something, they're gonna get it. And no SEC is going to stop them. Now, there has been also rumors that there is going to be a filing for a Solana ETF. That can be also interesting. So yeah, this year is very much the year of crypto, and not many people actually pay attention to it. I understand crypto is extremely volatile. However, since so many large investment firms, like BlackRock is the biggest investment firm in the world, 10 trillion USD, you're never gonna even have that much money. You're never gonna even earn that much money. You will never even fucking earn that much money if you had stuck dicks for the rest of your life. Never. Like, there is an absurd amount of money. So you should pay attention to what is happening now in the financial world. Otherwise, one day you're just gonna wake up and realize, oh, I could have invested in crypto when it was, starting to get the mainstream attention. Or maybe crypto like Bitcoin had already peaked. And Ethereum can theoretically print unlimited, therefore you never know. Now there is going to be a vacation or holidays for the Wall Street, so there probably won't be any big movement. As I said before, nothing I say is a financial advice. These are just my thoughts. So yeah, I would say if I were me, I would pay attention to the financial market, to the stock market, and the commodities market, crypto market, and many other markets. Moving on. So now we're gonna talk about a meme article, probably. Why I say meme? Well, James O'Keefe captured Disney executive alleging discrimination against white males in casting and corporate hiring. Why I'm saying it's a meme? Well, we're gonna take a look just at what sort of websites are covering it, okay? You can probably already see just who's covering it. Like, yes, it's very right. But hey, we take a look on the blind side. On the blind eyes. So we pay attention to both sides. So we're gonna take a look just who from the right covers it. The Daily Wire, mixed factuality. Mixed factuality, Washington Times, mixed factuality, Newsbuster, mixed factuality, Red State, low factuality, Post Millennial, mixed factuality, low factuality, GB News, mixed factuality, Timcast, low factuality. I say low factuality because that guy is an idiot. Low factuality, mixed factuality, low factuality, low factuality, mixed factuality, mixed factuality, the New York Sun, Breitbart, mixed factuality, low factuality, low factuality, mixed factuality, low factuality. We got two from center, mixed factuality and mixed factuality. I decided to pick the Washington Times. We're gonna read it. Maybe we're gonna watch some video from it. So we're gonna just read Because I know I definitely am gonna get shit that I don't read many right-wing articles. So hey, there we go. I'm gonna show you that I will read anything. I want to give chance to every side, but before that I'm gonna take a sip of water. Okay, we can go. No, I don't want cookies. Sorry, Woody. Disney executive caught on video saying company discriminates against white males. There may be no longer praise at the Walt Disney Company for guys like Dopey, Sneezy, Doc, Peter Pan, Woody, or Buzz Lightyear. Michael Giordano, Disney's senior vice president for business affairs, said in an undercover video that the entertainment giant makes hiring and advancement decisions based on race, specifically excluding white males from roles and promotions. Michael Giordano, I would assume he's white. According to these videotapes, Disney blatantly discriminates against white men, in particular, said James O'Keefe, founder of the O'Keefe Media Group, which conducted the undercover sting investigation. I'm pretty sure there are quotas on vodka, about percentages of races that has to be included in your higher ups, in your executives, your boards of directors, maybe. It's not bound by law, obviously, because it's kind of silly, in my opinion. You should be promoted based on your qualities, not based on your, because based on your skin pigment. I still refuse it called race, because we are one single monkey race. If it bothers you that much, you can always delete your Minecraft save. Thank you very much. You might also... okay. The video shows Mr. Giordano giving a behind-the-scenes look at the Disney's leftward watch in hidden camera conversations at restaurants with undercover investigators that he met throughout a dating app. Okay, this already sounds very sus. Why would be a vice president of Disney using... why would vice president of Disney be using a dating app? Well, it is not that far-fetched, however, it just sounds sussy. It sounds very sus. He did not realize he was being filmed. At Disney, he said they are very careful about messaging because they don't want to get sued for discrimination in either direction. Indeed, there's a lot of non-funded companies and activists that would sue you for very silly reasons. Let's see. But certainly there have been times where, there's no way we are hiring a white male. He's referring to that they would get sued if they did not hire a certain type of employee. He's not saying it like there's no way we are ever gonna hire a guy with white skin pigment. So yeah, this is a little bit disingenuous wording. Mr. Giordano said the company is very careful about how they message that to agents using buzzwords and code words. Yeah, not unusual. People in all types of works use some of slang and buzzwords all the time. So I mean, this is not really that much out of ordinary. Okay, we read that. They might say that. Sorry, they might say something like, "We're not looking at the usual suspect for this job," he said. So it's not like a legal actionable thing, but everybody knows what it means. Even Mr. Giordano has been affected by the company's race-based politics. As far as they're concerned, I'm a white male, he said, and that's not who they're looking to promote at the moment. As I said before, yes, some companies, some people are looking to enforce their quotas for other companies to employ a certain percentage of sex-based workers. I mean, not sex-based, like that they give you a sex service. It's not like that. By a sex-based, I mean like male or female, obviously. And as well as the skin pigment employees as well, to provide equal opportunities, which is, for me, it's a little bit naive and a little bit silly. As I said before, I understand in America, people of certain skin pigment is for them a little bit tougher to get education of certain level. However, I'm sure if you try good enough and if you're dedicated enough, you can buy yourself a phone. You can just work side hustle, buy yourself a good smartphone, and start learning with it. Right? All you need afterwards is a internet connection. Start reading books, start educating yourself, and you will be educated. I know it will be harder because a phone can get you also addicted to other things, but hey, like a phone can also open you unending possibilities to better yourself, much better than it used to be back when you could maximum, take some books from library and read them, or maybe visit a internet cafe and pay money to browse the internet. The executive, who has spent 11 years with the company, said he has been told by his friend in the human resource division that, "Look, nobody else is going to tell you this, Mike, but they're not considering any white males for this job. They're just not." Mr. Giordano said that the person described as half-black was passed over for promotion because he didn't look black enough. Okay, I know I don't use the race, however, in their word, that is racist. That is quite racist. You do not look black enough. Oh, I dare you to tell that. I dare you to tell this thing to iShowSpeed. I just dare you. Oh, you're gonna hear something. Oh, you're gonna hear something when you tell this to iShowSpeed. What does this even mean? Like, you do not look black enough. The humanity. Very funny. Very silly. We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago who was a half black, but didn't appear half black, Mr. Giordano said. That doesn't even make sense. Okay. We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now who was half black, but didn't appear half black. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand your English. I don't understand Bugge language. I don't understand Bugge. You have to speak English. But didn't appear half black. I think I understand. Like he did not appear halfback. I have no idea what that means. There was a creative executive who was like, we're not like, that's not what we wanted. They wanted somebody in meetings who would appear in a certain way, and he wasn't going to bring that to the meeting. That is racist. That is very racist. Mr. Giordano also said he could foresee litigation. It's kind of feels like where at some point there's going to be a lawsuit, he said. Give me a moment. Sorry about that. Disney Studios will be very busy because this Disney executive admitted hiring and not hiring on the basis of race. As it turns out, that's against the law. In fact, it's been for the last 60 years. Okay, wait more. Oh yeah, there's a video. We're gonna watch it together, and I'm gonna tell my thoughts about it. So before we start, I do not know how this Mike Giordano guy looks like even. Therefore, I cannot fact check you that this guy is really him. We can only assume. So if you're going to be commenting about it, then please take in consideration I simply do not know how he looks like, and I can't bother myself to actually Google it. We're just gonna assume that this is really senior vice president and team lead of Walt Disney Company. Now let's watch it. Oh my god, it's
there have been times where, there's no way we're hiring a white male person.
Just kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
How would they say it?
there's no way we're hiring a white male person. They say
Like straight to you? Or, okay.
They'd be very careful how they message that to agents.
According to these videotapes, Disney blatantly
I'm not watching 20 minutes of this. Apologies, but I'm simply not. Okay, and we're not going to be watching anymore because it always gets me off the. It always forces it to refresh the Chrome tab. Therefore, I would always have to click the I don't want cookies and shit like that. He wasn't the only one. Senator Mike Lee, Utah Republican, said that Disney's lawyers will be. Okay, so that's Utah. Okay, so this is based Mike Lee. I refuse to believe that's senator. Apologies, I refuse to believe that's a senator. You may tell me otherwise. I still gonna refuse to believe that someone with payments. That's a joke. That's a joke. Obviously, that's a obvious a joke account. He's about as much senator as Count Dankula was a SCOTUS. As it turns out, that's against the law, Mr. Lee said. In fact, it's been for the last 60 years. Tesla CEO Elon Musk of owner declared, "This is messed up. Thank you for your input." But who asked? The Washington Times has reached out to the Walt Disney Company for comment. Okay, that's about confrontation. We're not gonna watch it, obviously. Mr. Giordano refused to comment when confronted by Mr. O'Keefe in a video released Friday, walking instead to his car and daring off. "You don't have authority to put me on tape," he told Mr. Keefe, who replied, "I will put you on tape, and I do have that authority under the First Amendment." Of course, the first thing they're gonna say is the First Amendment. Mr. O'Keefe, the founder of Project Veritas, launched OMG. Okay. Why would you name your project or whatever this is OMG, bro? This is unironical cringe. In March 2023, after being first out by the Project Veritas board. Oh, I see. So he founded a project, but he was forced out because he was such an insufferable prick, huh? But over the last year, alleged overspending of donor funds, which he denies. I see. So he was spending other people's money. Yeah, that's... Yeah, people are usually very good with spending other people's money. They lack a financial grammar. So yeah, this was a very funny article. What to say about it? Quotas are fucked up, and there should never be any quotas about how much of females have to be in executive positions. Genuinely, if you want change, you should bring it naturally with a smart laws and smart, let's see, and just smart hinting of the females to actually try and take the, you know, take these high-end jobs. There's usually a reason, because I mean, women don't really have that much of a problem with education. They are usually perform somewhat better than males. Therefore, I mean, it's mostly up to their own decision what they want to be, alright? So, I mean, this is a little bit of force to me, and I don't like forcing people into doing stuff they do not want. I mean, obviously, when you offer them like $200,000 per week or per month, of course they're gonna take it. Like, they're not stupid. Like, of course they want to earn enough to safeguard themselves. However, when they grow up, they usually want to, they are thinking about something else, like becoming an artist or doctor or stuff like that. Or an OnlyFans model. That you should not think about it, alright? Just on the record. So yeah, moving on, this was a fun article. So the people don't tell me that I'm biased towards left wing or anything like that. I read these articles and I took it very professionally. Okay, I was mocking it a little bit, but hey, this is part of the game. I was smoking only a little bit already. I was not insulting anyone. That's a important notice. I'm gonna cut that out. But you can watch it on this VOD, so hey. New Georgia laws regulate hemp products, set standards for rental property, and cut income taxes. Interesting. So hemp products is a canopy, or wheat products, if you still don't know, cannabis. It's a version of cannabis, I guess. Or maybe it is the cannabis, I'm not quite sure. I never hear it. I only tried wheat like once, twice. No, like twice or thrice, and that was about it. Atlanta AP. Georgia on Monday imposed new restrictions on the sale of hemp products, required some basic standards for rented residences, cut income taxes, and required cash bailouts for dozens of new crimes. Those are among many laws passed earlier this year by the General Assembly that took effect on July 1st. Part of the bail law, which limits the ability of individuals and charitable groups to post bailouts for others, was put on hold Friday by a federal judge after a lawsuit challenging its constitutionality was filed. Another law that would require online sites to gather data on high volume sellers who collect payment in cash or some other method or some other offline method was also challenged with a lawsuit, and a federal judge temporarily barred its enforcement Sunday following a Friday hearing. I don't like when online sites gather my data, although everybody does that nowadays, so I mean it's not that big of a deal. Although when they collect data on your payment, yeah, that's not present. Other laws took effect when Governor Brian Kemp signed them, including a measure signed May 1st that compels jailers to check immigration status of inmates. That requires already has been law in Georgia, but Republican supporters say some jailers are flouting their obligation. The immigration law was passed after the killing of nursing student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus. Jose Ibarra, a Venezuelan man, has pleaded not guilty to murder and kidnapping charges in Riley's death. Here's a look at some of the Georgia's new laws. An already planned state income tax is being accelerated under House Bill 1015, giving the state a flat 3.39% income tax rate retroactive to January 1st. As of that day, Georgia gained a flat income of 5.49%, passed under a 2022 law that transitioned away from a series of income brackets that topped at 5.75%. The income tax rate is supposed to drop 0.1% a year until reaching 4.99% if state revenues holds up. The state will forgo an estimated $300 million by dropping the rate from 5.49 to 5.39. That's on top of $800 million the state is projected to forgo as a part of the earlier tax cut. A separate law will drop the corporate income tax rate from 5.75 to 5.39. Under the bill, the corporate income tax rate would keep falling along with the personal income tax rate until reaching 4.99. The corporate income tax cut would cost $176 million in its first full year. Hemp products retailers can only send hemp products such as CBD to people 21 and older under Senate Bill 494. We can have them from 18 years old. Legal, of course. Manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers must buy permits from the State of Department of Agriculture. Products can only be sold if they have been tested with state agriculture officials, also regulating testing jobs. Hemp products must include results of testing and no warning sticker if they contain THC, the substance in marijuana that produces a high. Officials have said products they tested in the past had illegally high levels of Delta-9 THC, and said labels didn't accurately reflect products' ingredients. The measure banned the sale of hemp products within 500 feet of a K-12 school and bans hemp products that look like existing snacks or candy, trying to make them less attractive to children. That could ban hemp-infused brownies, cookies, and candy, but experts say gummies and hemp-infused beverages are still legal. The measure limits how much Delta-9 THC product can contain, aiming to also eliminate the sale of products with chemicals that can be turned into THC. Other CBD substances such as Delta-8 THC and Delta-10 THC remain legal in Georgia. You might ask me, what is Delta-8 or Delta-9 or Delta-10 THC? I have no fucking idea. I only smoked weed like 3 times. Probably quite literally 3 times in my life. And it was kind of boring, nothing really interesting. And I did smoke a big portion, alright? A portion that should make you high, however, it did pretty little to me. Although I used to be quite resilient against alcohol as well. It took me quite a bit to actually go into some state of being drunk, and when I got to the drunk, I actually already drank too much and kind of collapsed. So yeah, afterwards, my taste for alcohol so dropped to 0, and I have not been drinking pretty much any alcohol since, only when I meet with friends, but that's also very reluctant. Rental standards. Landlords in Georgia would be legally required for the first time to maintain rental properties in a state that is fit for human habitation under House Bill 404. The bill also adds an air conditioning as a utility that can be shut off before an eviction notice is filed, along with the existing requirements to provide heat, light, and water. The law requires landlord to give tenants 3 days written notice before starting eviction proceedings when a tenant doesn't pay rent or some other required fees, while also requiring that an eviction notice be posted conspicuously on the door of rental property. The measure limits security deposits to 2 months' rent. Cash bail. Cash bail would be required for 30 additional crimes, including some misdemeanor misdemeanor under Senate Bill 63. The measure erodes changes in 2018, allowing judges to release most people accused of misdemeanors without bail. Proponents argue people who leave jail without paying bail are less likely to show up for court, although national studies contradict that claim. Judges would still have the discretion to set low bails, but opponents said that's unlikely. They warn the move could stand poor defendants in jail, even when they are accused of crimes for which they are unlikely to ever go to prison. A federal judge on Friday put on hold for at least 14 days part of the law that would limit charitable bail funds or individuals from bailing out or for jail money more than 3 people in a year. Only those who meet legal requirements to be bail bond companies could do so. Opponents sued on June 21st, alleging that part of the law is unconstitutional. Should weed be legal? Probably yes. Probably yes. I don't mind. I don't really care. I do understand you can get overdose on it. However, honestly, if I had to choose between weed or alcohol, I would choose weed. Yeah. Probably weed is also probably much better for you than alcohol, so yeah. And probably also better than smoking cigarettes as well. Although I'm not quite sure of the effects on smoking weed regularly on your lungs. I would not smoke either weed because I mean I like my lungs as they are now. Which reminds me I have to move a bit more. Unfortunately the weather is simply not allowing me. So there is no comment section unfortunately. And this is it. We done it. This is the end of the news. We're gonna go on the Twitter bazaar, and afterwards we're gonna have one article from IGN. We've been streaming for about 2 hours now. A pretty good stream. I like it. Afterwards, I'm gonna watch one episode of Star Trek and then I'm gonna go sleep actually. I thought I would manage to cut this one video, however, I'm pretty worn out and I don't want to cut videos like 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. in the midnight. So, I'm gonna end oh, I never actually resumed the music, fuck. Well, you're not gonna hear the music on the stream on the VODs regardless, so it's not that big of a deal. So we can go straight to the Twitter bazaar now. So first up, I'm gonna realign my seat, realign my microphone, there we go. So first up we got a behavior modification therapy. This is going to get copyrighted, I can already say it. If this makes video, obviously. I'm not quite sure yet. So, what do I want to say about this? Yes, I sometimes drive with the bus or the car and I do see a lot of garbage on the side rails, on the side winds of the roads, like even grass roads, like you just see so much of the people just throw out so much shit there. It's disgusting. And it's usually, I mean, not, okay, I don't want to make this a single side problem. However, I do see most of this near the, the good people, where the good people work and shit like that. Oh yeah, those people who think climate change is a hoax. Or climate destabilization, as I call it, is a hoax. Yeah, no surprise there. Often it's like people dropping the thing from the cigarette that you do not smoke. I'm not sure how you call it, because I don't smoke. But I mean, this is this is a very correct way to deal with a polluter. Yeah, this is very good. Oh yeah, and he just shut his doors. Isaac, no. Sit down. That's a very good behavior. I completely approve it. What about the comment section? Probably staged, but the message is important. Indeed, I always anticipate the things like these are staged and they are not too. Or at least I hope they are not too. She deserved that. This is stage. Oh, I see. Yes. Our message is a good one. Yes. Indeed. Of course, the Turkish ice cream shop. This is. Wait, I'm sure somebody would still laugh for it. I also giggled a bit, but hey, I mean, we've seen this so many times, it should not be funny. Next up, we got Quran burning Imam one heb that her Safel Allah. Salvan Momika, who are you? Critic and I think atheist. I fight for a West free of Islam, of course. Atheist, oh. Critic, think atheist, okay. I fight for a vestry of Islam. Yeah, but you... Okay. I miss Christianity there, Judaism, and any other sort of religion. So, Bill played the first... No, we're gonna read this first. You will always see your Quran burning throughout the West after the rise of the national right. If that does not satisfy you, then leave to your Islamic country. You are not welcome here in the West, and there is no place for Islam in the West. Do you agree with me? No. No, I do not agree with you. Let's just watch it. I know it's going to be power painful if I make this into a video and some people from Arabia watch it, buddy. I love that they also had to set this thing up, the pace, the thingy here that's usually shown near murders, like do not cross this, because they probably knew that otherwise this guy would get beat to shit. And deservedly. Like, come on, burning books like fucking neo-Nazi. Like, this is a neo-Nazi thing to do, to burn books. Nazi, neo-Nazi, communists, fucking far left thing to burn books. Like, fuck you. What did that book ever do to you? Like, Quran and the Bible and any other stuff is not meant to incite violence. It's only the people who read it and understand the words the way they were not meant to be understood. I'm an atheist and I do not support the burning of holy books. It's just an attempt to infuriate and provoke people who are not you. People are entitled to believe what they want if others don't like it. Indeed, Islam does not mix with any other culture. Lie. What does that even mean? What does it mean? Like, Islam is in cultures like, oh, Doge. He's just going around with his life. Islam is part of, let's say, Turkish culture, Albanian. I'm not sure if Kosovo is Muslim or not. Regardless of that, then you got the Egyptian, Arab, Kurdish, Iraqi, Mashriki, Azerbaijani, Persian, Mazandarian, then you have Moroccan, Tunisian, Moorish, if that's still a thing, probably not, since I believe they used to be in Iberia before the conquista was finished. Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Indonesian, Malaysian. What else? Also some Stan nations, some of them. Afghanistan. Like those are... I mean, Islam seems to work under many cultures, right? And yeah, obviously some people will... that is not true. That's simply the case for the radicals, which, safe to say, the Western world also has plenty of. For fuck's sake, just go watch a football match, go watch football hooligans. Do these people look like your honest people? Yeah, no. They some of them wear fucking swastikas. And they are very violent sometimes. Indeed. Indeed, that is not about Islam. That is about ideology that has been forced upon people. Like, Islam is not a religion that should bring fucking hatred, that should bring distraction. No, it's the ideology that many people are poisoned with. It's the ideology, not the religion. And ideology has been also implanted into the minds of many young men and women throughout the medieval ages, after the discovery, like 30 years old, 30 years war, the Protestants versus the Catholics, a religious ideological conflict. Yeah, like, I do not agree with this. I do not agree with the burning. It's a ban neo-Nazi slash very radical left right wing thing to do, and I don't agree one bit with it. We got Breaking Grammy nominated rapper Waka Flocka Flame is under a lot of fire after kicking out Joe Biden supporters from his show. Flocka stated all the Joe Biden voters get out. We're gonna party right now to T24. Many viewers claim he has become a sellout and are disappointed in him. Okay, we're gonna watch it. I have no idea who this guy is, by the way. I don't watch rap scene. The only rappers I know is Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50, Jay-Z, Kanye, and that's about it.
All my Joe Biden voters to get out. See y'all! I'm gonna holler at y'all. We're gonna see y'all at the bingo game. We're gonna party right now for our fucking President T24, man. It's a motherfucking party. What's up?
And people like, and these people complain that people on the left are, talking about Trump negatively. Yeah, I mean, once again, it is on both sides. Just because the left-wing artists are more famous, more pronounced than your right-wing artists, well, that's not our problem. That's nobody's problem. You can always become an artist, a musician. The only thing you need is determination and discipline. So last up, we got a no context memes. Couples were so much more romantic back then. Man, if dinner was slightly cold. I forgot to check the comment section on the other post, but whatever. What game is this? I want to play it. Wait. This is Call of Duty. Yeah, this is Call of Duty. I should have told you that automatically since this plus 175 XP thingy. But yeah, back in the day, I mean, even today, however, it's much less spread than it used to be. Yeah, people like to talk about that back in the day was much more romantic. Even I saw some TikTok stupids doing, dressing as the women of the former century, like mid-century, like 60s, 70s, 50s. Like it's very romanticized. However, in reality, a lot of women back then and even later were suffering or were very unhappy with their marriages. because they also were marrying very early, which meant they usually, well, they were kind of forced to just like their marriage, because, you know, I forgot the thing with the name for the thing when you go away from each other from the marriage. Oh, divorce, yeah. Because divorce back then probably used to be a bit scandalous, so they never went to it and they just bite that tooth, which is something I really hate. I think you should find someone you will be truly happy with. I do believe in a true love, and I believe it is worth to search for it. Obviously, if you have any sort of a expectation for a partner, if you have an expectation for his income, for his appearance, that is probably not good. I mean, I understand the income is important for you. However, I mean, if you ever meet somebody you like despite of his low income, then it's probably good for you to actually try it. Because I mean, if it really works out, then hey, you find yourself a true love, and true love is something really rare these days. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, then you spend a lot of time with somebody who was pretty poor, and you probably have to live very affordably. This is also why I recommend you to actually study for a well-paid jobs. There's always shortages in some sort of wing of American economy. You just have to look at what jobs are open near your vicinity, like near like 10 to 50 kilometers of your location, and maybe pick your college in regarding to that. So yeah, that's just probably it, and we're gonna go to the IGN article. Yeah, the back then romance is very romanticized. You probably seen some good movies, however, no. A lot of people just bite their teeth, bite their tongue, and just did not talk about it. So yeah. Moving on, we got man sentenced to 4 months in prison for carrying a 6-inch master sword in public, claimed it was a fidget. A man was sentenced to 4 months in prison for carrying a 6-inch master sword in public. As reported by Eurogamer, I hope I have, yes I have. 48-year-old Anthony Bray, a Nuneaton in Warwickshire, England, was spotted carrying a replica of the iconic weapon from Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda series opener in the local town center. Yes, you should not do that in England. England is very retarded about this. England weapon laws are one of the most shittiest on this planet Earth. You cannot even... You almost cannot even get a gun there, for fuck's sake. Like, why would anyone want to live there? Like, I said it many times before, you need a weapon, you need a gun to protect yourself. Especially if you're female. It's much better than some stupid pepper spray. The pepper spray might works 1v1, but hey, if there are more of them, a gun is going to save you. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my final article. That's my final argument. The gun is going to save you instead of a pepper spray. Like, yeah, you're going to cause them a little bit harm, but if you're wearing high heels, which some of the women are, if not good portion of them, then you're not going to run away. That's how I'm gonna say you. So yeah, get yourself a gun and be safe. Come on. And don't let some journalists tell you otherwise. Gun is a very good thing, especially for those who are weaker physically. Then, yeah. Which women generally are weaker than men in real strength. Berwickshire police spotted Bray on June 8 via CCTV walking down the street with something in his hand. Bray was said to have approached officers with the item visible in his hand, at which point he was arrested as he was carrying a braided article. Bray subsequently claimed the Master Sword was a fidget, something to keep his hands busy, that he had bought online, but police said that because it was sharply pointed item, it could be used as a weapon and put others in a fear of it being used against them. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, London stabbing rates. Yeah, a joke. Like, come on, you should already tell, like, this is just a game replica. It's just a replica of some movie shit. Like I do not know many people with their sense being in a correct place that they would actually be scared of this. Like, obviously, there's always these tiny chances. However, we do not talk about it. Like, generally and very generally speaking, you would be completely alright if somebody like that walked past you. It's very unlikely that anybody who likes cosplaying or likes these cosplays weapons or just replicas to actually hurt you. The police said the Master Sword was inside a sheet and could be released with the press of a button. Oh my god. The British police is an absolute joke. Despite admitting that the Master Sword could be perceived as a threatening if someone else saw it, Bray insisted during his interview that he would not have used it as a weapon, the police said. Obviously. Bray was sentenced on June 28 and given a 4-month prison sentence as in order to pay a victim's surcharge of £154. What victim? What the fuck? 4 months of prisons for this? Are you out of your mind? Are you fucking out of your mind? And what fucking victim? There was no victim. Literally, he was apprehended by the officers. He's literally being fined for something, for someone who was not there. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? It is possible to find fidget toys that aren't 6-inch blades. Oh my god, that is one of the dumbest arguments you could ever make. Like, oh, it is possible to find, smaller things that aren't blades. Who the fuck cares? It's from a video game or from a movie or anime. Grow the fuck up. People like him are not safe security. You should instead fucking focus on safety for women in UK, for example. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. Being a woman in the United Kingdom is nowadays and walking around is not very safe. Sergeant Spellman of the Patrol Investigation Units commented, "We take a zero tolerance to braided articles in public and Bray has fallen afoul of it. It is possible to find fidget toys that aren't 6-inch blades. It's possible not to walk down the streets holding them out in front of you. With a bit of more self-awareness, Bray could have avoided contact with us completely." I will fire every single idiot who was working on this. This is unironically so fucking dumb. Unironically dumb. And if you want to live in UK, I recommend you to swiftly change your mind, because this country is in deep shit. And this is the end of the article. There's a lot of comments, so this is going to be very good. Let's be honest here. 6 inches doesn't exactly qualify as a sword. It's essentially a glorified butter steak knife. 4 months prison is a bit much. Oh my god, he's actually defending. He's actually defending it. Bro, you fucking dumb. You're so fucking dumb. Imagine giving fucking prison sentence for wielding a fucking movie, fucking anime, or fucking game, fucking butter knife, or sword, or short sword. A stern warning, fine, and community service. I'm sure he would have sufficed. No, you're a time traveler. You're rich retarded, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, mate. But you are completely dumb. You're unironically dumb if you think this is for a person. I do not give a single shit. It is a law in there. It is a dumb law, and you should not be punished for this. You should never fucking be punished for fucking wielding a fucking movie items. These people pose literally no threat to the society because they are just fucking publicly exercising their hobbies. Like, these people are literally of no fucking threat to the public. And let's be completely honest. The fucking United Kingdom is a fucking mess of a safety country. Like, there's no safety there. Fucking women are afraid of walking alone. There are kidnappings, there are fucking stabbings in London. Dump. Brits think he got off lucky. Brits should fucking think this is stupid. Indeed, in the US that would be allowed in a lot of places. I'm not a fan of open K. However, this is not an open K. Okay, this is not exactly a case of open K. Like, he's not exercising his fucking will to just flex out his weapons. He's just fucking wearing fucking a short sword from a... Wait. Bro. 22 centimeters. 22 centimeters. Like, I think I'm gonna have a fucking... I think I'm mouthing really bad. 22 centimeters. 22 centimeters. In 4 months, and people are defending it. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, if you do not understand this is stupid, then you should not be allowed to vote. You should not be allowed to have any sort of human rights. Because you are not fucking human. You are fucking retard. At best, I did particular Braid as a letter opener. Hmm. 6 inches is no joke, guys. A couple more and he'd become a certified letter opener. Yeah, he's making fun of it, and indeed. I'd feel a bit weird if I saw a guy walking around casually brandishing a big old knife. So I completely understand some kind of retribution. It is necessary, but seems that excessive. Oh my god, these people trying to be nice. It is retarded. It is dumb. Ah, IGN comments. Oh my god, IGN comments. You should never visit IGN comments. They are filled with stupid people. People like this. But then. No, this is unironically dumb. Like, come on, 22 centimeters, bro. That's barely a knife. If I had any of sort of, measuring device here, I would actually measure my own knife. Ah. I'm pretty sure 4 months is enough time to get to ruin his life. Indeed, he's probably gonna lose his job. Probably yes, cause I mean he's going to get a book. He's gonna get a record into his CV that he was, in prison. He's gonna lose his home. Probably not. Hopefully not. His friends. Hopefully not. Maybe. Hopefully not though. For being a loser, bro, just delete your save file from Minecraft. That's exactly what I pictured non-weak looking like. Okay, that's probably referring some user on IGN. I have no idea who that is. I think some of you need to look up your state laws in the US. I just learned that he would have been arrested in my state as well. I don't think he would have done 4 months in prison though. I mean, if I walked up to a cop holding it out, I can safely assume my chances for being killed would I mean, they are assuming what fucking happened. Like, there's no video of it. Like, do you think he was just going around flashing this around people? Oh, look at me! Look at this beautiful little knife I have, huh? Beautiful, huh, officer? It's very beautiful, don't you think? Don't you think? I'm waving it very dramatically in front of you, but you cannot see it. Feelings are better than facts. What do you mean? Cringe, outtake, outtake, outtake. And you cannot even downvote here. That's how fucking soy IGN is. So, again, if this is not allowed in your state, then first course of action is going to be informed about it. You did not do anything illegal. You only fucking wear a knife in the public. The police officers should be required to inform you, to educate you that you are not supposed to be carrying around a knife of certain length, alright? Only in your pants. After you're educated, he's going to make a recording of it in your file. The police has on, everybody has a file. They're gonna add a note that you have been informed about it, and the next time they're gonna find you. This is the correct, this is the most mature way of handling any sort of accidents of holding these cosplay weapon. Personally, as I said, it's very stupid. However, the process I just explained to you is the process that should be taken, not fucking sentencing him to a prison. I mean, if he would got somehow aggressive, you're gonna take him to the prison cell in your department. You're gonna go to the administration, you're gonna find him, and you're gonna let him go, and say he's gonna get fined again if they find him. If they find him walking around with his knife. That's how a mature person should handle stuff. Like, the British way of handling this shit is dumb and fucking stupid. And fucking IGN comment section is once again a big L. Always an L. And it's very soy, because you cannot fucking download comments. I mean, I wouldn't be even able to download comments, because Oh, it's good. I wouldn't be even able to actually download because I'm not signed in, and I will not be making a IGN account. Sorry to disappoint you. So this is all. We made it to the end. We had a bit of an error at the beginning of the stream when I forgot to turn on the mic. That happens. Luckily, no damage was done. Only the intro will be, quiet. Fortunately, I did check the microphone before I started reading the article, so we got 2 hours worth of content still. We've been streaming for about 2.5 hours, which is going to be like 2:15 after I edit everything out. I did not go to toilet or anything like that this time around, so I won't have to do any sort of cutting actually. So, hope you enjoy it. This was a very good stream. I enjoyed it. Had a fun. I'm gonna go watch some Star Trek The Next Generation. Probably 1 episode should be enough. Afterwards, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna go take a nap, and I'll be editing videos tomorrow. Because once again, I ran out of material to post, so I need to edit at least 1 video tomorrow, or 2 videos tomorrow, so I can publish my regular 2 videos per day. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I wish you have a good day. I'm gonna keep on talking for about 1 more minute before I close this thing. As I said before, the Twitch sometimes kinda crops the ending, and some of my words just get cropped out, especially that's very annoying, especially because of the articles I read. If the Twitch were to cut actually into the article, then it would be cut down, and I don't know how would I actually adapt the missing audio, because I simply do not remember what I was talking about. Let's what else can we talk about? Oh yeah, was the day yesterday we were talking. Sorry, I need to sneeze. Last day we were talking about One Piece getting a 2nd season, the Netflix adaptation. I hope it turns out well. I wish for it to turn out well. The first season was pretty damn good. It was not perfect, but it was a solid 8 out of 10, in my opinion. I think the biggest problem was that the Navy just simply played way too big of an role in it. I do understand it because it only had like 8 episodes. Hopefully the 2nd season is going to have much more episodes, or at least longer episodes if they still want to go for that 8, which I would not recommend. If they want to go from Logue down to the end of Alabasta, then they do need to have much more episodes than this. Because 8 episodes will simply not suffice. 8 episodes is not good enough. At least 13 episodes of Al plus long should do the job. I mean, it will still have a lot of content, but hey, I think it will be suffice. It would be good enough, especially for the mainstream audience of people who maybe do not want to watch all of that side hustle that happens in One Piece. So they could get like 13 or so episodes of pure action, pure content, and not to worry about some of the side content. Because I mean, nowadays, One Piece also does a lot of this side hustle, mainly for the manga to gain space or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Because I mean, manga is quite well ahead, if I remember correctly, but I mean, the anime is sometimes running in circles. It feels like there's a lot of repeatment, which is something I do not enjoy. even now, actually, the last episode I watched, it was 1110 of the last arc that's been going on now. Not the final arc, but prelude to the final arc I hear. The Shaka was killed, or he got. I mean, he seems very dead to me. And somebody just steps in, however, you only see the boots. Like, I would love to see like who shot them, because like I know that in the next episode it's very high likely that we're gonna see his face until at the end of the episode, or maybe at the beginning. However, I would love to see if we saw his face at the beginning of the episode instead, because so at the end of the current episode I was watching, because it would add way more tension than this. Like, it's like, yeah, somebody shot this guy, but you don't really feel much like, I mean, okay. Like, however, if you saw who killed him, then you would be okay. You would be either like, okay, who the fuck is this? I am very intrigued and I want to learn more. Or like, oh, what the hell? How could he or she do that? Yeah, something like that, alright. But yeah, we talked enough. So hope you enjoyed and peace out.